Lemba Chicken Charmaine, Mkhetwa aka Big War, and a whole bunch of other AKAs. The Sobering Podcast, Season 8, Episode 16. We're back in this.
16.
Yes, sir. Ski's Big Fred, aka Pod Lightyear. We taking it to infinity and beyond with this, man.
Yeah, it's like
I like that.
Kitso of it. Done.
Oh, it's another one of those.
Was it me?
Yeah.
It's another one of those.
Snaps.
Sizwe Alakine.
Yeah. Come on,
Mr.
man.
Ashkarine, you say Ashkarine. Ashkarine.
Ashkarine.
Back at it with the new Shivarine.
Yeah, you've deserted us for a couple of years, eh?
Yeah. Alumni.
Yeah.
Alumni.
That's the last time you were here. First season.
Second or third.
Came back again.
Yeah, he did.
There was an interview I missed though.
Yeah.
There was one sit down we were supposed to have that we never had.
Yeah. Yeah, you had to take good care of like some.
Yeah.
It
was my daughter's
things.
Yeah, so we had to, we had a little more on that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, this is your third time then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Alumni.
Definitely.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
What's really good?
I see you guys moved up in life. Sitting here and talking.
We trying.
Just sitting here and saying the shit that you always said on the streets is actually working out very well.
Yeah, man.
Beautiful, man.
He's getting paid for this shit.
You're not doing bad yourself, man. You got the glow on the nails, you know? You know people are doing good
Got
when
the buff and shine.
The buff and shine is going on.
shine.
You know what I mean? When the buff and shine,
Not like a bap and shine.
when the nails are going, the pangao
Pang, pang.
man. Nah, dog, come on, man.
You up?
How you doing, Sizwe Alakine?
I'm good, bro. I'm good out here, doing the same thing I've been doing for the last, 20 years?
It's 20.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 37 this year.
Yeah, it might
I was
be
17 when I was running around.
Because you were in high school when you were doing jingles. You were in high school when you were doing jingles for Fresh and shit.
That's crazy, man.
Golly.
Right, now you one of those. You seen them come and go.
Yeah.
Seen them repo,
Hey,
resold,
you see-
and redriven.
You seen it, dog?
I mean,
Repo, resold,
I'm
and
kind of the
redriven.
repo, resold, and redriven, technically.
oh, you
I mean,
been
you
through it
repoed,
as
you
well.
resold, and you
Yeah,
redrove.
man. I've had one repo. I've had a repo in this game.
You've had a repo.
I've had a repo, yeah.
It's crazy, man.
I mean, shout out to X-Re. No,
and there's actually a song where he mentions X-Repo.
Yeah.
I was like, just
Yeah, man. How crazy is that? I mean, you've had to deal with everything then. The facade. You've had to deal with, probably getting addicted to the life.
Yeah.
And sobering up from the life as well.
Unintended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that feel? So like, just like, when you're seeing these people and you'd be like, it's not supposed to go like that, man. You might learn an expensive lesson.
Yeah. I mean, but some of it is just part of the game. It's just, it's what people have to go through in this industry, It's what artists have to go through in this industry. Some difficult times are not the repo. Some difficult times are, niggas crying over masters, or my manager didn't pay me, or, there's some sort of school fees that comes with it. I always say, like, we don't necessarily have the Wits University of rap music. There's no class that's going to tell you, at this point, you should worry about this. At this point, that's going to happen. And, or this is how you write a hit record in case, your bookings ain't popping, or shit like that. It just doesn't exist. You just get, you deal with trouble along the way. And that's like, some of it costs you.
Yeah.
But like, I guess that's failure. You're either going to get up and pass or you're just going to fail and just be done.
There,
I don't know how, but like I've always just found a way to get back in and keep finding a way to get back in,
Would you say you were ever out?
Definitely. Like in 2018, like you know, I think I dropped what arguably was like the best Reason album that I'd ever created, you know. That was Azania, you know. I had Swiss Beats out there, I had Sibongile Khumalo out there, I had Mick Jenkins out there, like I put my all in it, you know, and nothing happened. Like it didn't land, it didn't move the needle, you know, radio didn't play it, like, you know, and that might have been the one time where I was like, actually, maybe I'm done. Not even kikrende, like, surely I kikrende, but it's like, you know, as a rapper, when do you know when it's like the right time to quit? You know, when do you know if it's the right time? You know, Usain Bolt has his last race and Messi has his last game and hell, John Cena got his last match, bro. Like, when do we know? Like, yo, actually.
But that's why I say kikrende. Like, the way you're saying it is like they're done with me. It's like when I say kikrende, it's like, yeah, I'm done with the game. Was it that feeling, or did you feel like the game was done with you?
I definitely wasn't done with the game. I mean, as you can see, like I found a way to circle back into it. Yeah. You know, I found a way to keep myself in the race because I think I still had.
So you like still wanted to be in
I still wanted to be in the game.
Yeah.
I think right now, if you look around, like, I mean, so whenever people would say like hip hop is dead, I would always argue and say like, nah, dog, hip hop ain't dead, but like some rappers are dead.
Yeah.
And for most of the part, like, it might have been a huge chunk of the game, but like I think what I went through in 2018 is something that a lot of rappers are going through right now. You know, there's a lot of guys who still want to be in the game, who still want to drop, who still want to push, but like, it's just done. You know what I mean? Like, you're either coming with something really spectacular and phenomenal and surprising, or like, you know, there ain't no room for you. You know, it's like I always argue. People would always say, yo, when are you going to drop another rap album? And I'm like, what? If you listen to hip hop right now, like, there's no room for Reason. Like, the shit that I was rapping about, the shit that I was talking about, like, it doesn't move the needle. Like, if we're talking about the music business, like, that's not what they're interested in. They're interested in Usmamani. Yeah. They're interested in the Quellas. They're interested in what 25K has to do. They're interested in what these young kids are developing right now, you know? But, like, I think there's a lot of people that I came up with who just, game's not interested. And it's not me telling you, it's just look around, you know? Okay. Like, niggas are dropping every second week, and it's not like how it used to be. It's not like 2015, you know, you drop the record, you know, like in a week's time you're trending, next week you're on the radio, the week after you're on the stages, the week after you drop a video, and then boom, you hot right now. Like, that shit don't happen no more.
Do you think rappers in your school should still be chasing the hot tag?
What do you mean?
As in, like,
being the hottest?
Yeah.
To pop off and shit.
Well, I mean, that's part of the game, Kitso. Like, I feel like that's part of the game in a sense. I think, well, depending on how
I hear what
depending on how your deal is moving, and I mean, look, at the end of the day, like, anybody can make songs and keep them on their computer or drop them for their friends, or you know what I mean. But if you're gonna drop songs, you want bookings, you want corporate deals, you want radio airplay, and like, if you're still in the race, everybody wants to be the hottest. Like, who's got like the privilege to say, as in, ngifuna ukudropa mara ngifuna ukushisa kakhulu.
That's it.
Ngifuna ukushisa kakhulu.
Yeah, but like they shouldn't be dropping on some Smamani must like get knocked off the hot list. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, from that perspective, like,
you're not topping the charts.
Yeah.
Well, from that perspective,
or
like,
you've got different charts.
Yeah.
What do you mean different charts?
Like your KPIs are different. They should be. After 20 years, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but the results still got to be the same. Like, we got to make money. I mean, it's
money, but there's different ways.
So I guess it's for everybody. Like, if being hot is not necessarily what you're gonna go for to make money, you gotta find another way. And honestly speaking, I think that's probably why I'm here, because I mean, when I listened to that record I was playing you, like I don't think I'm trying to knock off Usmamani, or like I'm trying to, no, like if anything, like I'm embracing the existence of that, you know? And I'm also, I think I'm accepting of not wanting to do that because like I'm 37 years old. You know what I mean? I'm
you can't be talking about.
I can't be having those type of conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and maybe that leads me to like the very blunt reality of what I think every time I listen to this project, where I'm like, man, like this doesn't feel like a hip hop project to me.
Yeah.
Like this feels like whatever you would call local, whether it be Kasi rap, Skanda, Mkuku, or whatever sounds we've developed in South Africa, like that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing that because nobody's doing it, you know, or at least the people that are doing it are just not doing it at the level that I'm doing it.
Okay.
You know, and those are all the people that I kind of collaborated with on this project. You know, a lot of people don't get to see them commercially because they're not, it's a style that is, I think it was commercial around the time when
I was about
Pro
to say
Kid
Pro
was
Kid,
there and you know, Pitch Black was there and technically Squatter Camp was there. And it's a style that I think has existed and been forgotten.
Yeah.
You know,
and times.
Yeah. And so, and I guess that, and that's it. Like that's the thing for me is because I couldn't compete with the hottest right now, and I'm not interested in competing with the hottest. The question is, what can I bring that's fresh? What can I bring that's interesting? You know? And that's what I mean. Like, if you're gonna be relevant in this era of where hip hop is, like, you're either gonna be running with the hottest or you gotta bring something fresh. You know what I mean? And if you can't bring something fresh or run with the hottest, then that's what I mean. Like you're dead. You know, that's being dead. You know what I mean? And I can comfortably say I'm dead because I've accepted my death once upon a time. You know, when I was not hot, like Keenan was still doing fine. You know what I mean? Ricky was still doing fine. It wasn't the whole game. It was just me feeling like, okay, maybe
I'm dead in these streets.
Yeah, I'm not in the hottest race anymore. Maybe I should fall off the hottest race. And then at the same time, it's like, why would I not be comfortable in accepting my death? Why would rappers not be comfortable in accepting that? Because I really think at some point we really need to start having the conversation of the next step in the next era. Because if we're setting an example for the kids that are coming after us, it's like, what is the example of what happens after?
Graduation?
You know, like, what's the next step? Like, Slicker might have showed me a way out. Smacks might have showed me a way out. JR might have showed me a way out. You know, I'm not mad at Zinga doing a podcast. I'm not mad at Tito doing a podcast. I'm not mad at a lot of homies. Hip hop has always been evolutionary. You know, we the ones that came up with the festivals. We had our own magazine that was talking about our, you know what I mean? Like,
there's awards.
It's the entrepreneur genre.
So
what's the resourceful? We've been resourceful forever.
Yeah, so as painful as it may be to say, yo man, some niggas is dead. Like, I could be saying that like a rapper, like, y'all niggas is dead. But I could also be saying it like a peer, like let's do the next thing. Or let's find fresher ways of carrying on running, because we can't be trying to race with these kids. It's their time. It's really their era, you know?
But I want to ask, I just want to take it back to when you said Ricky and AK and them were hard, and then you sort of like accepted, you took a back seat. Was that not maybe sort of a challenge for you to fight? I mean, when you looked at them, did it not look like they were fighting, or they were... Why did you accept at that point? Okay, you know what?
I think part of me at the time, I was not willing to do what the niggas wanted to do, or what niggas had to do to stay in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, fuck, I wanted to do the Swiss Beats and Smongile Kumalo thing. Like, that was the music I wanted to make. That was the direction I wanted to go. That was the taste that I wanted to add into the scene, you know? So when that's not working and I'm looking at what the guys have done, and mind you, like, keeping up with the game is something that I've had to do a lot, you know? Like, I think when I was doing Rigorous, I was keeping up with the game. I was keeping up with the time, you know? No sleep.
Definitely,
You know, we might have been like, you know, breaking barriers with like a bump the cheese up there or whatever, but like, you know, do it like I can, 2 Cup Shakur, like, that's really me running against the homies. And at that time,
what was that other joint? Yippee-ki-yay.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many times where I had done that.
Which was a Keenan song, ne? Yippee-ki-yay.
No, it was my joint.
It was his joint featuring
AK.
But when I found the joint, it was Keenan's verse on the hook.
What I meant.
So it was Keenan on the track, and then I kind of told him, "Yo, I think this verse of yours sounds like a great hook. I'm gonna keep the hook." In fact, the full version of that verse is the one that he did on the song with Anati. Can't turn up on a Sunday. The flow's the same. The flow's the same. If you look at it, pull up and look, sitting sideways. Dream so big, about to get a migraine. What's his like? What is he? How does he come in on the saga?
Always knew that I would be this hippie mega. And then stuff about the treat me like a legend.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. So at the time, I wasn't willing to do it. Number one. Number two. I mean, I'm mentioning 2018, but really the problem had even started even from like 2017, man. Like, you can see like when you drop a song and nothing happens. You can see when you're not current.
I think that's when the time when you were doing like the album for girls. Remember that?
Yeah, I was even doing the girls thing.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's like.
Which is nowhere now. Where's that album?
Yeah, we can't. So where's is it streamable?
Oh yeah, we had taken it down because we didn't like the distributor.
Oh, okay.
And we've since been planning to put it back up. But like I did that project with 4 other niggas. Like I did that project with Instro, Sizwe, and Hope. So I don't own the project by myself. I own it with all 4 of them actually. So just circling back and putting back up has just never been that easy. But like. That was all the time. That was one of the singles on that project. Did okay, didn't really do so well.
Yeah.
Features, doing okay, not doing so well. I could have kept running basically, but it really started feeling like, like maybe I should actually think about my next step.
Yeah.
I should think about my next move because I've always cared about my next move. I've always cared about
what's next,
not finding out the bad way, like that I'm done, and always having the next step. And luckily for me, my next step was songwriting for people. That happened by accident, but it happened in a painful way because it started hitting me in such a way that actually the songs are good. The songs I'm writing are good, but maybe my brand is not hitting enough. Maybe my brand is not current. Maybe my brand is not out there. So maybe if I take these exact same songs and I give them to other people, or I write these songs that I want to write for myself and I write for other people, maybe that might be an outlet. And also in that space, I had the right to then do what all the other niggas were doing. It's just I was creating it for other people. So I found myself back in the game just behind
in different positions.
No Diddy.
And were you not happy with that being your brand?
I actually was. I mean, once it lands, because also the thing about songwriting is, I mean, you're not a great songwriter if you don't give people hits, And I think once the first hit came out, and you
what was the first hit? What was the first hit?
Nah, I'm going to tell you.
You say it happened by accident. What was that accident? What was that moment that said, "Yo, man, let me pin this for you," or that person say, "Do you think you can pin this for me?" Or "Let me take the song." What was that moment?
I mean, the accident. Well, first in the beginning it was Bash. Bash, the first project. Shishiliza. So the first project that I got as a project, I had done this like in bits and pieces for different people, like for an artist there, because back then it was I've got this song but I can't drop it. Who can I find to drop it? Let me give it to that person. I got this song, I want to drop it. Who do I give it to? But I guess when Bash came into the picture, he had a client that needed a project, and I was like trying to take a chill. Around that time, like I wanted to go back into advertising, get my corporate bag, go in as a culture specialist.
In the boardroom.
You know what I mean? So the accident was, it actually came from, hey man, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't getting these bookings, you ain't dropping no songs. Come work on this project real quick. Let's make some money producing this project. You'll still be doing what you're doing, but it's just you're gonna be doing it with someone else. All right, cool. So then we start, and then first song comes out and bangs. It's like, oh shit. I can actually do this. So I wasn't crazy. It means that the songs were fine. It's just maybe the brand wasn't where it needed to be.
I mean, that kind of gives it away. Like,
man, like also, you know what? Like, I'm not. You realize, like, maybe the artists sometimes when they speak to them and they talk about, you know, who wrote your songs. Like, I'm the one who's normally shy about telling people what I wrote.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I feel like it's very narcissistic and like very egotistical to just go, that was me. Yeah, and that one. So I try my best to not talk about it. I mean, I always describe a situation because, you know, I think for the purpose of this conversation, I think it's important to give people context.
Yeah. No,
it's not so much about, hey, I wrote this song for who, but it's about like,
this is how
it's about the situation. Like that situation came from a bad situation and it turned out to be my situation going forward because that's since built into like a really good business.
So when this is happening, do you like in the back of your head go, maybe it's not that I don't make great songs because I can make hits. Maybe I'm just not putting enough either financial or PR or something of that sort. Does that cross your mind?
It definitely does cross your mind. But that reality is you know, when you experience that reality the first time is, if you're independent, that means you need your own money to push this shit.
Yeah.
And if you're independent and you're already not popping, like, where you gonna find the money to push your shit?
Yeah.
So on the one end, it's that. And then on the other hand, it's when you go look for a deal, niggas are not offering you the money you need to actually push the shit.
Yeah, they're lowballing you, if like, anything.
Niggas would rather give the big budgets to like a Questa or whoever because they had a long record of, we can trust this guy, you know? So, yeah, you can blame it on those things, but those realities start to surface even when you're creating the project.
Yeah.
Because creating project, I mean, hip-hop is not like piano, you know? Hip-hop is a pay-as-you-go. You pay for the beats, you pay for the mixing, you pay for the mastering. Sometimes you pay for the features.
Yeah.
You know? So it's expensive to create music. It's expensive to release music. It's expensive to drop the music and to promote it. You know? So I guess that's where the conversation of the business and the deal, like what deal you got. You know, and what budgets are you working with, you know?
That's crazy. When you say hip hop is a pay as you go as opposed to like Amapiano, I'm guessing maybe other genres. How is that different from Amapiano? Isn't that is pay as you go, or is that more barter systems? What is that like then?
Piano is a sharing system, you know, fundamentally. You know, it's a sharing system. If all four of us, that's why everybody gets mentioned on the feature.
Yeah.
You know, because we all
17 niggas,
So in hip hop, I could make a song with me and Kitso as the producer, and then you come in and add the drums, and you come in and add like some keys. Kitso comes in and adds like whatever he mixes. You know, chances are it'll go down as produced by MK, and then MK will break you niggas off, and then I'll break him off. You know, with Yanos, we're not paying each other shit. We're all putting our names on this song, and we're all pushing this song together because we don't know how much power you might have that day when you post it, and it might make it trend. We don't know how much power you have. We don't know how much power I have. We don't know how much power you have. So let's put everybody on the song as a collaborator. You know, one guy can own the song, you know, because that's where the responsibility nando sta how le mtaka so how le computer how kisha rate away na di pina tse kaofela kaofela re for wena wabo ha re ya ko kabi re tsa di pina for yena ha o ka hla A1 nyana ile re nka e batla ka mchaela emfethu koponga yani wabo wena unke engwe wabo very collaborative, very much into sharing, you know, legally or like, you know, socially or traditionally, according to the Yanos, is we're supposed to all have a piece of the pie equally, you know, because everybody has different contributions to the success of a song, you know. Crazy. But hip hop is like, yo, dog, you gotta pay me, take this beat, go figure it out by yourself, you know. And like imagine how many. Imagine what the game would be like though if like they mentioned everybody like on the song. Like if
it was never in hip hop's nature.
It was never, you know. But it kind of goes to show like there's a genre where as the artist, you're the guy and you're the only guy, you know. And then there's another genre where everybody's the guy.
Everybody eats.
Everybody's inside, you know.
Everybody
It doesn't matter whether you know who Semi 4, 5, 6, 7 is. Oksalayo.
But
He's there. So when Mnige pops in America and Rihanna loves it, it's not just Tyler ICU that gets the shine. Nandipa gets the shine too.
Yeah.
That's a new kid in the game. So people start checking out for him.
Yeah.
When he starts dropping shit, and then they start pulling up to him and start helping him out.
Yeah.
You know, there's Tumelo on the song, so, you know, even Tanda's has got like 7 niggas.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody is pushing the song together. So I think sometimes that's like a winning formula, to be honest with you. Like the collaborative spirit of piano is a very winning formula. It eliminates the cost of making music.
Yeah.
Because these kids don't have money. We don't have money.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them are very young, so they haven't gotten jobs.
Yeah.
So it eliminates producing the music. You know, the music being released unmastered, unmixed. Bro, we ain't got the money to pay the mixing guy, the mastering guy. Make that thing loud.
Plus that thing bangs.
Make that thing loud. Yeah, I do, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Sometimes, some people tend to think, it's just how the sound goes. Like, they don't like it mixed. No, it had to be that way because they were tired of everything else that they were dealing with before, with the genres before. Like, the free releases is like, because radio is difficult. Radio wants these standards. They want to supply the song like this and like that. Like, fuck that. We're dropping it on the internet. Internet likes it. They push it. There's the dance challenge. Some of the biggest songs in the country don't have videos. We don't have money for videos. But the songs fly. You know what I mean? So by pay as you go, I mean that. Like hip hop, you don't get away with those steps without paying niggas. You know, so there's a lot of fights we're seeing on the internet right now with hip hop niggas fighting over, nigga, where's my script?
Where's my Jew,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Loaded on data file.
You know what I mean?
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah,
That's
so I forgot actually. Oh yeah, so the pay-as-you-go system.
Yeah.
That's really what I mean by pay-as-you-go. You know, like hip-hop is very expensive music. You know, we make very expensive music. Very few times when you do like bite the bullet and, you know, you're working with your friends and you're producing with your friends and mixing with your friends, you bump into scenarios like that one where you're asking like, yo, but like, where's the PR? Where's the promo? Where's the... Sometimes niggas don't really move your shit like that when the budget is not good, when the money's not good, you know? So you have to think like a hip-hop artist faces more challenges and sometimes less opportunities compared to a piano artist, because their culture is just so free and so within the people. It's not in the industry. You know, it's not like your song has to sound like this, how many dBs, or it can't distort, or, you know, it has to be this long for you to release it. Yeah, you know, in hip hop, if your song's longer than 3 minutes, it's too long. Niggas are dropping 7-minute songs. If your song's not mixed, it's not gonna play on the station. Niggas are dropping songs that are not mixed. You understand what I'm saying? It's like
everything they said we couldn't do is being done.
That's the culture. That's the culture.
It's crazy. I just want to circle back a bit, back to your brand that you were unsure of. I mean, there's a time when it worked and then when it didn't. At what point, what do you think diluted that to make it stop being...
I don't know, man. You know, I don't know, man. Like, what makes you stop wearing your favorite sneakers, man?
Everybody else wearing them.
I don't know, man. It could be...
I don't know.
They got over it.
Yeah.
Maybe niggas got over the vibe. Maybe, you know, but I mean, it's a lot of things, MK, dog. Like the sound changes, you know, the new faces change, styles change, you know, budgets also affect these things. Like, I really don't know, bro. But like, you know, there did come a time, I mean, if I should remind you, like, it was even worse with me because there was even a time where I couldn't even say shit on Twitter without a troll.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't even say some shit with no disrespect.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers, who was that fucking kid? Who was that kid?
Slick Talk.
No, that was even Slick Talk. You know when you had a Slick Talk? Who was the other one that was rapping, man? Who was that one that like dissing niggas?
But you feed
no,
the trolls,
man.
though.
Why are you bringing up names unless you're gonna say the right one?
Yeah, he's mentioning everybody actually that was dissing niggas.
All those niggas have said shit about niggas.
Yeah, but the
Right.
is that you also feed the trolls, though.
Yeah, you kind of entertain them.
You feed the trolls, and sometimes that might make you an easy target, because every time somebody went at you, right, and they were in a public space, they had more to gain from going at you.
Because you were you already.
True. I don't think.
Yeah.
Look, I think where the problem hits me, and that's just being real with you. Like, I hear that, right? But what people don't realize is where the problem hits you is just like the fact that you could actually say some foul shit to me in the first place. Like, dog, I'm dope. I'm probably the best there is, one of the best we have in this country. Just like by sheer capability, the releases, the work, you know? It's very, very like, how do I put it? Like, it'll piss you off if you bump into a nigga that be like, yo, what's babysitting like?
But did you
your
bump into a
bitches
nigga
out
like
you, your bitches out here on radio doing work. What you sitting at home babysitting? You know? And you would never bump into niggas like that. No, you would never, ever. Don't
they
get me
won't
wrong.
say it to your face.
But I'm saying, number one, getting those messages, how they distort you as an individual, especially when it's consistent. It starts putting you in a place like, yo, man, when was it okay for y'all niggas to disrespect me? Like, do you not know like what I do? Like, why do you have to diss me? Because you're not even dissing me about records. You're just dissing me about life.
Life, yeah.
Yeah, just a life comment. Like,
so why do you...
Like, sometimes I see Pretty Ugly go through it, but I'm like, yo, man, these niggas are taking shots at this nigga just because he's dating a famous girl. But if you really think about it, he's a phenomenal artist.
But they're not dissing the art, so why should that matter even?
You would think that it shouldn't, but because I'm a human being, and I'm taking it all in, it does get to a point where I'm like, man. I mean, that's my result to that was I'm leaving Twitter.
Yeah.
Let me step away from Twitter. I mean, where you don't see favor outside is, oh, no one's buying the records. Radio's not playing the records. No one's booking the artist. There's clear, you know, telltale signs like, okay, maybe I'm not hot right now, or maybe shit ain't popping right now, you know? And if you look around, like, there's a lot of niggas I came up with, like, you don't see their songs, you don't see their videos, you don't see their performances right now. Niggas who were hot like 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago. Right now, you don't see them. So there's those metrics that you deal with just as an artist. But I mean, like, there's certain spaces where it's like, yo, like, when did I become easy to be disrespected? You know, especially when you've got like a Flex Rabanyane. Like, what the fuck? Who that, like, dog?
Oh, is that who you meant?
That's what I meant. You know, when you have a Flex Rabanyane, like, yo, you know what I mean?
But there again, and devil's advocate. Remember how that started, right? Is that
I don't remember how that started.
He had come out and said that he wasn't getting pay off of pay. It was a payola story that he had volunteered. And you chimed in.
Yes.
And when you chime in, he hit you with the mace.
He did.
You know? Because this nigga. You know what I mean? Warranted. You may not like it, but it's warranted. Because everybody goes through it, or go partying, or whatever, and then an elder statesman is telling you something that you don't like hearing.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with the elder statesman.
Yeah.
So then you
buck up.
You buck up and say, well, man, I'm a man.
Yeah.
This man is telling me how to live my life.
Stick your chest out.
You stick your chest out and say, yo, what this got to do with you?
Yeah.
And since we in the same sport, let me take it to you in your realm then. Because he did deal with it in a hip-hop way, though. He didn't just take it to the tweets, put it on wax.
I was just offended at the fact that he didn't say thank you. So I'm just, because even with that, my rep with that wasn't necessarily even with him. It was like, dog, how you gonna come on the internet and say, I paid payola, I committed a crime, I did the one thing that's actually killing the industry, which is paying for my song to get played, and it still didn't get played. Right? That was my shit. It was like, bro, like,
you're making yourself look bad.
Like, dog, you're making all of us look bad. Like, this is not even like, I'm not trying to like, dog, you're out here saying you're committing the one crime that's killing a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Very much like me. A lot of artists like me, creative artists, songwriters, lyricists, people who had really, really good messages or really important messages that they wanted to push, suffered from the plight of Payola.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden my song is not a good song anymore.
Yeah.
That other nigga who just put some money in your pocket is a good song. You know what I mean? So, fair. But this motherfucker responded with his chest out. God damn. Okay, fine. That's what time it is. Shit like that, I think, put me in a place where actually, let me actually take a step back. You know, and again, there's a reality of, but your shit is not popping. Your records are not hitting, you're not getting booked, you're not relevant. Isn't it now we in that world? How's not you about that? People like disrespect you. It really felt like I was in that space where I was like, I'm allowing people to actually disrespect me because maybe I don't have the accolades that, you know, maybe I haven't filled up a dome.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I haven't put up a plaque. Maybe I haven't come home with a sama. Maybe I haven't come back with the whatever.
But even people who have those things, you also get it on the internet.
100%.
Hence I said, I just resorted to maybe I'm done. Because I still go back to, you know, when does an artist really know when people are not interested? You know, like when did Slicker know? You know, when did Smacks know? When did JR know?
Do you think people weren't interested or they just decided to do something else?
Still the same thing. Because it means I'm putting out a product and no one's buying it. If they're buying something else or they're interested in something else, that's still a business problem for me. You feel me? Like, that's like me saying to you, maybe people didn't stop watching the podcast. They just were interested in something else. It's like, well, I'm still shooting these episodes and I'm still putting this work out. And if I've got no customer come buy my product, either I need to change my product or I need to change my business, you know? And this is just looking at it from just being realistic about the music business, you know, like, because some of those reasons, I feel like sometimes if I'm not responsible enough, or if we're not responsible enough, I feel like sometimes those are the things that actually like put too much on the music. You know, they put too much on no, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna push what I'm pushing. It's like, no, dog. You can't keep doing that thing. It's not selling. And we are in the business of selling records. We're in the business of selling music. If the music is not selling, you need to change your business plan or change your direction or change your model. You need to change something. You know?
Do what you want, but just not have this thing as being your main source
of income.
There's also that reality. But Mfana, that's between you and I feel like might have that point of privilege where we have a lot of options, maybe because we studied well, we went to good schools or whatever. There's a lot of niggas, dog, who don't have another choice. You know, like MT will tell you straight, like, I don't have any other choice. If this shit don't work out,
shout out Big Hustle.
Yeah. I see in that boy. Something's off with this boy. I saw him from the first day of studio that something's off.
If you think you got more shooters than me, you got nothing coming.
I mean, there's niggas like that. Like, he really don't got no other plan, bro. Like, so he doesn't have, as a father of 2 kids and a wife and a home, he doesn't have the privilege of, maybe let me try sell sneakers, or maybe let me
go to the
do a podcast. You know, you know, some niggas do have that option. I won't lie. You know, that's why I did the songwriting thing. That's why I wanted to do the advertising thing. That's why I was trying to segue into other spaces.
And this is the conversation that we have a lot. You know what I mean? Is that when are you gonna diversify? When are you gonna, you know, talk about other skills? Or when are we gonna champion future-proofing mechanisms?
True.
You know, and those aren't the things that we champion a lot of the times. We consistently hear people saying, yeah, man, it's cool. I just dropped out because I knew that thing was not going to serve me.
Hey, this dropping out.
You know what I mean? That's like such a popular, normalized chat. True. And it also sometimes comes from people that even had the choice.
it's also a funny reality for me, dog. Not to cut you off, but like to add on, like I find it as a funny reality because, you know, when I listen to rap music, like I'm hearing rappers talk about their hustles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when rappers are rapping, they're actually telling you about how they get money on the streets. They're rapping about how they get money. It's the music is normally just stay relevant. You know, if we're not cleaning, like we're mixing it all up. But if you're constantly listening to rap music and you're hearing rappers talking about their side hustles all the time, like I don't know how we missed that because. Dog, you know.
See, that's you see,
because you know, Doug, I've always been in the 9 to 5 and you know, doing the music thing, you know, cool outs, doing the music thing. So I've always I guess approached these things like that, which is why sometimes I even had the privilege to like, let me take a step back, try to figure myself out before I release music. Never had the pressure of, hey, I gotta constantly drop so that I can constantly be relevant because I had other shit moving on the side, you know. I always never understood, you know, when I found myself in situations where I'd be talking to rappers and they'd be like, yo, this is it. This me, bro. Be like, damn, bro, you brave, because 40's around the corner. I don't know how much.
Don't play when you get there.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. What are we going to do when we get there, bro?
It's different when you get there.
And maybe that's why I was just so ready to know.
Yeah.
When it's like, hey, maybe let me move, because... But too many kids to be fucking around and gambling with these raps, you know.
Yeah. What caused the resurgence and the switch in from Reason to Sizwe Alakine?
Yo, man, I fell in love with this piano shit, man. Like, I got on the tour bus with Durban Gogo one day. At the height of lockdown, we went to a gig, and like I think I kind of bumped into the same feeling I bumped into when I bumped into hip hop, you know. People who are like-minded in how they dress, like-minded in how they dance, like-minded in how they speak, like-minded in what they like, you know. Just a culture.
Yeah.
You know, I got influenced, I got introduced into this culture, and because I'm in the songwriting space, you know, it's quite important for me all the time to always understand different genres, you know.
Yeah.
Like I have to consume Sexy Red at some point. I need to listen to it.
Breathe.
You know what I'm saying? I need to listen to that and understand what makes it work. I need to hear how the styles are, how the raps are, because I got clients who want Sexy Red type shit, you know, so I got to listen to Afrobeat. When I listened to this particular sound, like I fell in love with it. You know, I fell in love with the poetry. I fell in love with the melodies, you know. Even, in fact, when I got into this piano thing, I wanted to sing. Because I also believed, like, yo, I can't rap on this. You know, I was also still attached to, like, yo, Reason, doing piano.
Rapia.
Like, that doesn't sound right. Like, Reason is a legacy of lyricism. It's a legacy of... What? How dare you?
Yeah.
You know? So I myself was, like, you know, not so confident in doing the rap thing in the beginning. Until, like, I bumped into, like, Tyler. And then I started hanging out with Bori, and I started hanging out.
Me sweat.
Tyler, I see you.
I see you.
Make me started bumping into
Hey, you.
Yo.
Tyler made me sweat.
I mean, you just said Tyler, man. I gotta find out which one.
Shit, my bad, my nigga. Sorry. Tyler, I see you.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler, I see you. In fact, Tyler, I see you was the first person to be like, yo, fuck that singing shit, nigga. You's a rapper. Like, I looked up to you my whole life. I wanted to do this rap shit with you. Couldn't do this rap shit with you. Let's do this piano shit. You rapping.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of conversations were had with like Lady Do, because she was rapping.
Yeah.
You know, like I kind of had to like unpack this thing, and I just started falling in love with it, you know?
Yeah.
And then when it came to doing it, I just didn't feel right doing it as Reason. That's really like the fundamental of it. It's just, I can't do piano as Reason, you know? Another thing was just, I was also like quite frustrated with Reason as a brand name. Like people don't realize like how complicated that shit is. Like when you start going into like iTunes and Spotify, there's already 7 Reasons.
Oh yeah, Reason TDE, Reason.
You know, and then there was the Reason at TDE. That also like threw me
He was
off,
even
man.
complaining about you.
He was even complaining about me. Because at the time, somehow I had more numbers than him. Even when he was, you know what I mean?
Oh, I saw him in an interview. He was like, I'm not the South African rapper Reason, you know?
Yeah, so that then there was just a business resolve to that, to say, if we're going to go back into music, maybe let's just let go of this brand. So I chose Sizwe because I guess, you know, my idea was, you know, let me do this music and let me show the other side of me. Let me show like the real me, the Katlehong boy.
Yeah.
You know, like if you know me, you know I like to party.
Tembisa.
K1.
Tembisa ke Hamagogo.
Oh, okay.
Ke Hamagogo, yeah.
Okay.
So it's both really. It's both. Like, played a very big part in my life. If I wasn't there, I was there.
Oh, okay.
But I think those are the things that I don't think I had an opportunity to bring out a lot under the Reason brand.
Yeah.
You know, because of the legacy of poetry, the legacy of lyricism and the storytelling, I never really got a chance to like live like a super commercial, like, you know. I also wanted to see Lokotine at some point, you know. So Piano was like, damn, I can actually do that thing. Yeah. I want to do this one as.
I mean, do it like I can do this
That's
thing.
what I'm
though.
saying. You had.
Do it like I can do this thing, bro.
Do it like I can was really.
I'm with you.
Yeah, or maybe to us, like from the outside looking, it was a thing, dog.
Problem, bro.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, even now, I'm sure you just cue it and the crowd goes crazy. And I've seen you do that. You just
You know what's crazy? Like a lot of the kids right now, a lot of the audience that's in the street, at the festivals right now, some of them weren't around the time. Like 2012 is a long time ago.
It's 12 years ago.
It's 12 years ago. You know, so I still get away with like a no sleep. I still get away with like a do like I do. I still get away with like a bump the cheese up. I still get away, but like at some point I gotta put new material into the set, you know?
No, sure.
So, but what I meant by the Sitlukotine was, I mean like the content, where my content didn't necessarily always have to be scrutinized with where's the punchline, where's the lyricism, where's the flow, where's the, you know what I mean? Like, like my nigga,
fun.
Yeah, I even once had a conversation with Ricky once actually where he made me realize like I'd never really dumbed it down, you know. I remember we were in studio and there was a beat that was playing and we were supposed to jump on it, and he said to me, yo, you need to hit this one like a Kwaito record, like you need to go Kwaito, you know. He said, have you ever done that before? You know, so the most Kwaito thing I'd ever done was Top 7 at the time, right?
I do like I do. Well, I do like I do. You were rapping.
Nah, I was rapping. But even Top 7, I was actually rapping. My nigga was like, nah, dog, that's not. He's like, nah, dog. I mean, like, say very little and say it's simple, but like make it super effective, you know. So Silukotin, Kavalejin Kotin, Kavales Lamba Boy, Sililas Number Boy. Like these lyrics, like you would never think that you'd hear something like that, or maybe something like if she trick and leave that bitch alone, that's why you'll never catch a nigga sober. Hot box until the spliff is over. I'm never scared. Got no pistol. Like yo, I've never done shit like that, you know. So when I was doing the piano thing, I was like,
yeah, but your kind of rap never communicated vibe.
True.
You know, like so I wouldn't say. I mean, we say dumb it down, but like I'd rather say like you communicate vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to say much for you to feel it, and you get it. You know what I'm saying?
This was probably like my segue into that.
Yeah,
piano's really my segue into that. It's like it's all vibes. The sound is all about vibes anyway. You know, so like channeling those vibes, channeling like the inner TKZ. You know, because as much as I was like, you know, like a Busta Rhymes fan, a DMX fan. Like I was also like a Cabello fan. You know, I wasn't just that one thing, you know. And those are some of the things that I'm trying to channel into this project. Is like, you know, I had never done what Flaba was doing back in the day. What you heard the pitch black flows. You know what I mean? In fact, I came up in the era that used to diss those niggas. I came up in the era that used to look at niggas rapping in Vanek and be like, yo, y'all ain't the real. You know what I mean? And even them, they used to diss us as well. Like, you be like, yeah, you guys think you're real hip hop. So going into this thing was like, here's this thing that I've always kind of liked, but I never did. You know, I'd created a brand that kind of didn't allow for me to do shit like that, you know? And now I could create a new brand that allows for me to do shit like that.
Funny story. I remember a time when I could tell like your brand was against vibe. We were just introduced to Trinidad James, and I was bumping Trinidad James Gold on him. I watched nigga. Right. This nigga was so bad. It was like, what is this? What is that? I'm like, yo, trust me, this is gonna go. This nigga's like, nah, smoking weed.
Every Trinidad James, get your 15 minutes. I wasn't wrong about Trinidad.
Nah, shout out to Trinidad Dad.
Fuck, I thought you were gonna bring back 808s and Heartbreak. Because there was a time when I used to judge you for that shit. I'm like, what the fuck are we listening to?
I remember you. Like,
808s and Heartbreak, yo.
Like,
2 years later,
I'm like,
yeah. So, I mean, this is my time, I guess, to kind of like get into the vibes and tap into that thing.
Yeah. Because you couldn't even hear, like, there's on that joint where you feature, where Sizwe Alakine features Reason, you can hear the difference.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I was hoping,
actually, you can hear the difference.
Yeah, when Reason kicks in.
When Reason kicks in.
It becomes winter.
Yeah. Get your
Get the layers.
Niggas say something like, this is why hip hop is alive, because you rappers are dead.
Because you rappers died.
You know, I was like,
Damn.
It's a bit hectic, man.
Also, I have to say, call me Jesus Christ, the one they tried to crucify.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I had to die.
That time.
Yeah, I guess I had to die for them to see my rise, you know? I partly feel like that played a very big role, I guess, in some of the negativity that came towards it. Yeah. I think that blasphemy kind of like did contribute to some people feeling the need to say, actually, this nigga's...
Really?
Not all the time. I think that was when the tide changed, man. Prior to that, to be honest with you, like, I'd never experienced any level of hate prior to that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like...
Hey, you play today?
Like...
With the image?
Yo, like, I had never really experienced any kind of hate before that.
Was that picture with Jesus holding it?
He played the whole
The picture with white Jesus.
You went in, dog.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was still at Queen at that point,
I don't know why me and Israel thought that was going to be a good idea, but anyway, we thought it was going to be a good idea.
I mean, it was Jesus times as well.
It's hectic, man, because then God really came to y'all, man. Because praise God, you know. But like, you listen to this project.
That first half,
dog, is very God.
That first half is like,
you look at intro, you know, he's giving
all the way,
himself to
all the way,
to
all
God.
the way.
You know what I mean?
He a disciple.
Maybe it was God's plan. You know what I mean?
Probably. I mean, you know what?
Not
yes
not
and no.
Negative around it, but just epiphany of vibe.
I guess it was a lesson, man. It was a lesson. It was school fees.
Yeah.
It was school fees. I mean, I've always been a very religious person. You know, I think I've always been a spiritually driven artist. You know, I've got so many references in all my albums from religion, Jesus, this, that, and the third. You know, and I think that particular moment and that particular time was was that era of trying to like push it a bit. You know, let's push, let's see.
Yeah, let's see. The envelope is over there.
It was a rough lesson to learn, but you know, but you know what the crazy thing is, you know, in this day and era, people try and orchestrate moments like that, because moments like that these days create talkability. You know, and we are in the era of saturation right now. You know, you really, really got to do some wild or some really incredible shit for you to stick out.
Yeah.
You know? It's not always advised, but you know, if you look around right now, hip hop is in that space where sometimes you just want to ruffle up a few feathers just to kind of like get people
just to get attention.
Yeah, just to get that attention going, because you know, I mean, the other sound, they just drop a sound, the song trends, there's a dance challenge.
It's gone.
You know.
These man, days, like, I love to the Yanos, bro, and everything, you know.
Yeah.
But let's not act like everything is smooth sailing there
for
as
them.
well.
Oh, of course.
It's not easy. Yeah, rainbows and sunshines and butterflies.
Always rainbows and
butterflies. Yeah, I mean, it also has, like I know that I think sometimes we really give hip hop a bad rap every time we compare it to something that's truly, truly flourishing from a business standpoint, and then we ignore all of the ills that the other side has as well. You know what I mean? It's just like, hip hop. There's so much that it's still doing as well. We always give it this bad rap. Like everything else is just like antithesis of hip hop.
Yeah, but you know the maintenance of your car. You don't know the maintenance of a Rolls Royce passing by. You get what I mean? You'll know more about our ills than their ills.
But their ills are also there for the world to see as well.
Yeah, but I don't think.
And this is not to downplay the institution.
Nah, not at all, not at all. But I don't think the conversation always pops up in the sense of the ills. I think the first issue is, look, I mean, I was there once upon a time when hip-hop was the shit and Grom wasn't.
Yeah.
And Grom had just stepped in and Grom had to take a back seat for hip-hop music. Or house music had to take a back seat for hip-hop music.
Y'all keep saying that. I've never seen that happen.
Yo, di mane na le kae mfethu. How fitla le Tinova. Badlala pinate. Badlala house music. Badlala dance music the whole time. Nah, actually, you might have still been in high school.
I still be there, right?
You might have still been in high school.
No, Latinova. I've been to Latinova. Look, man, I was there, but I also had to. The thing about it, right? The people that always talk about Latinova, it seems like it's people that always have the world of Latinova. Because after I went to Latinova, I still had to step on campus, bro. And when I was on campus, it was a different story, bro. It was a different story. And the car wash was a different story. And that's where the real... The taxi rank was a different story.
Yeah, but you see, we're not having this conversation like... Again, you're going back to my argument where I argued that I don't think... Before, I used to say to niggas, I don't think the sound is dead. But I think there's certain artists who took up a big part of the industry that are dead. And I think I went on to say, I mean... Usman is doing pretty well. Yeah. 25K is doing pretty well. Yeah. So trust me, I'm very, very well aware of the greatness of hip hop. If anything, when I was doing this piano thing, my intention was to really mix it. Like if you listen to this album, like I went out of my way to mix it, to add lock drums, to boom bap and this, that, and the third. So I've never been the type of person to just lay out the disrespect as if like, yo, I'm pushing this thing to the side and there's this new thing that's better, I'm one of the few people who wants to take some of the good shit this side and some of the good shit this side and put it together and still move with it. Yeah. But I think the chats around what you're crying about is just the general mass, conversations. It's just like, it's like being on campus, right? And listening to the kid next door. Very few times you hear them play hip hop the whole day. Yeah. And it doesn't say that. It doesn't mean there's no kids playing hip hop. Yeah. It doesn't mean there's no kids. But like when you're chilling, go taxi rank, and you're listening to sound coming out, there's just a mass market sound. There's a sound. There's a culture that's hit the mass market the same way hip hop did in a very, very big and massive way. But when we go into the ills. Obviously, because there's ills this side and there's ills this side, I'm really just here in the middle saying, dog, I see the ills this side, I see the ills this side. And this project is like a result, or maybe just like me trying to show, like, I think it doesn't matter. I think there's some really beautiful shit that needs to happen if we put them together. More often than not, this is almost like my reply. Like, why would anybody be mad at me for doing piano just because I used to be a rapper? Why don't we just mix it all up?
Used to be.
You know what I mean? Well, used to do hip hop. I mean, like I said, like I don't think I'm a hip hop artist. I don't think this album is a hip hop album. I think it's everything South African. Everything that piano took me through, the streets, the gutter. The album is called Dear Taki. I'm talking to Takis. I'm rapping in Vernac 90% of the time. Yeah. I'm having conversations about, this is not my pussy pink and my asshole brown. Like
pound town.
You know what I mean? Like, so
talking about what your little sister
I'm
going
aware
through.
of my non-hip-hop attributes, my non-hip-hop ticking of boxes to say, maybe it's possible. I can't come into this thing and claim to be what Blackie is. I can't claim to be what Usmamani is. I can't claim to be Sonwabile, what Sonwabile is. I can't claim to be what Tony Daimani is. I can't what Mchini is. You know what Words is. I can't claim to be that. But this is as the intro, like Pish Black said in the intro, like this is what hip hop is to me right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm out of that race.
So it is hip-hop.
Of discussing the whole chats. I don't know. I don't think so.
It is, man. You
Call
know
it everything else parts, dog.
Nah, you know hip hop can exist in like various forms. And
Look,
I think
sonically that thing's sorry to cut you off there, man. But sonically it is very hip hop, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and I think which was a variation of hip hop. Still is.
Kitso understands me.
Yeah.
I think Kitso knows exactly what
I know
mean.
what you mean.
I know exactly. You know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Irrespective, though, we here now. You know, I'm rapping and I'm doing this rapping thing because of a new excitement around it. You know.
Yeah.
I personally believe, like, you know, when I look around, if it is hip hop, the market right now says they like hip hop with a bit of South R.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from the market right now. That's what I'm getting from the streets right now. That's what I'm getting from my people right now. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm just doing my own version of it in a very so-called dated way.
Yeah, I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like you want to cater a lot to, why are you saying what the market wants? Is it not what you, like, your resurgence, however it came about, should be more about you, as we've learned in the past, that chasing sounds doesn't exactly work?
No, this is not me chasing a sound. You know, this is me out every weekend, going to gigs, experiencing people, seeing people. First of all, realizing that they don't have a specific type of style that actually could entertain and speak to them. Secondly, like I said, this was always the plan, you know, to try and find some sort of formula that takes what piano is and what hip hop is, and then put it together. Where I'm coming from with, where I'm coming from with where the market is, like, you can agree or disagree, but back to the business, when I'm looking at what the customer is buying right now, they really like buying that hip hop that got a bit of them in it. You know, there's a lot of rappers who are South African rappers that predominantly sound American, whether by accent, by content, by style, whatever taste that you can call, which is what I'm saying. I get it, that's hip hop, you know? And you can also say, hip hop is just a style of hip hop. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not really in that argument. I'm neither here nor there.
Okay.
But my answer to that, to the conversation around what people are buying, is that's just the reality of the hip hop that I'm seeing that's popping.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing there's still rappers out there that still give you that Americanized type content, and it's not moving. You know, the people are not moved. And, you know, like I said, you can argue it, but like when I look to the other side and I'm seeing my youngins, you know, performing after Kabza, you know, when I'm seeing Maglera getting on stage after Kelvin Momo, I'm like, okay. And everybody's in the vibe and they're embracing this style of this type of hip hop. I then respond by saying, oh shit.
Birita one down.
I'm in this wave as well. Hip hop has moved to this wave as well. So maybe
you feel like hip hop met you somewhere?
It. Yeah, I think hip hop met me somewhere, and I might have met it somewhere. You know?
It met you where you are.
Yeah, man, because I was in the streets doing this piano thing.
Oh, okay.
You know,
With that said, then
I was just out doing. I was steadfast on this thing. You know. Also, Sean was on my back saying, "Dog, you gotta give these niggas raps, dog." Like, you know, and I guess Imitandas was probably like the best excuse.
I can see Sean.
You can see Sean say that, right? But Imitandas was also a good example because it's like, damn, man, I had gotten the #1 that I'd wanted my whole career. Yeah. And I never had a #1 record ever. You know, and
Also
it's on a record where I'm singing. It's a Metro. Yeah.
Oh, it's a Metro.
Shout out.
Song of the year.
Still, man.
Shout out.
So yeah, thank you. So part of that kind of contributes to, like I said earlier, you know, I was saying to him earlier, I was like, hey dog, technically I'm not supposed to be here. So I always feel the need to always find something fresh to keep my people entertained, you know? Mm-hmm. Like I said, like the shit that was kicking earlier, like don't do it if you ain't got something fresh or something big, you know? And my saying that to you to say, like, I feel like I shouldn't be here comes from the fact that at some point I really considered myself as dead. I considered myself as out of this game.
Crazy, man.
And then kind of regenerated, writing for other people, creating for other people, and then meeting the sound and then going with it, you know? And it being successful and it working out. Like in commercial ways that I'd never really imagined.
As somebody who looks and caters to what the market needs, I just hope this time it can be met with a like proper like business like acumen and push.
Sure.
For it to do what it needs to do.
True.
You know?
True.
Because you've always like, even with the piano thing, with the album, it's like, okay, cool, this is where people are at. But on the backside, like Kitso was saying, the things that you mentioned, with my PR and all those things.
Sure.
I just hope this time, because when listening to the album, it's like, okay, cool. I see where this would resonate. The pockets that it would go into, the people that it would make happy, you know?
Sure.
And all of those things. I just hope like this time, the baking is on point.
Shout out.
Yeah. It's a good feed.
Good effort.
Definitely a lot of learnings from Yanos, you know. I think also part of the reason why I'm here. You know, I like, I think this is a very big part of recognizing the PR required for this thing, because I really wanted, like, I don't want to drop the ball again. Because, you know, once you've tasted, like, being out, bro, like, once you've tasted being dead, once you've been dead, bro,
you don't want to go back there.
Like, I might have even had, like, a young trauma generation. Hip hop guys have a Joe. Kila bona Joe la dropa ra Joe zangda ntsamfethu. Mara ya gara we bo fitla bara yes, come, let's go. Then it's like when Sean says, yo, let's go back, I'm like, oh my God. Are you sure, bro? Like it's just like, how do we do that? You know? So I do care about shit like that, man. Like I've experienced not having that backing and the deals that we're going into and the money that we're trying to get, like it really comes from, let's not make the same mistake twice. You know. Also, like, look around, like learn from other niggas. You know, I be learning from these kids 80% of the time, dog. You know, I may not be able to get on there and do a dance TikTok, but there's something I'm gonna get out of it that's gonna make me think, oh, this is how I can do it.
And there's no one that's like part of the school that you're from that you can take that and learn from as well. Somebody who, I'd say, age gracefully, hip-hop wise.
I mean, people like KO.
Definitely KO. I think definitely KO. Coolie's still here. You know.
There's a lot of like...
Fucking, I hate name dropping because we're going to forget somebody. And it's going to be a thing, right? But at the same time, yes, there's, you know, looking around and aging gracefully, but at the same time, like it's wanting to be the example of how you can
reinvent,
have a good like have a good exit, have a clean exit, or have an evolution. You know, I don't like I look at Tito and I'm like, okay, my nigga's going through his evolution through that. You know, and I look at Zinga, I'm like, yo, he's going through his evolution through that. You know, I look at JR and his productions, like there's a lot of niggas that actually put the mic down and evolved into something great. You know, it doesn't always have to necessarily be this music thing. Like for me, it doesn't necessarily
front of stage.
It doesn't necessarily have to be. Like I was kind of lucky with the whole songwriting thing. I think writing for other people kind of played a very big role.
But you know what?
In keeping me in the race, because I had to stay.
You stay abreast.
You needed to be.
But there was I feel like your pivot could have been seamless because there was already something built already in Cool Out. which was like cool out for you because it was sort of an agency,
Right?
You know, and then that pivot could have just been like, okay, cool, this is what I'm gonna go into, focus into full time, and then go through it.
Yes, but the reason why it wasn't, I think that the reason why it wasn't is you have to remember Cool Out was founded by
Kio
and Reiko.
Yeah.
In Cape Town.
Yeah.
You know, and them bringing me in was originally just for the shows and to come and host the shows. We had those shows out of Kitcheners, right?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, we were just a group of guys throwing parties, you know, and it was good money for every week. Like every Friday we got a party, make some money. I come, I host.
Good times.
And then it eventually grew.
Yeah.
But the fundamental of that business was still in eventing. And I really struggled with eventing. Like eventing is a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, eventing, putting together a party, like bookings, like setting it up, you know, like dealing with weather, dealing with sponsors.
Dealing with safety.
It was really,
safety.
it was something I really, really appreciate for understanding it and for getting into it because it helps a lot when you have to do your own gigs.
Yeah.
It helps a lot when you want to do your own parties. At any given time now, I can always whip out my Cool Outs bag and then just show you how to put together an event. But it really wasn't, it was more the niggas than it was me.
Yeah, but that was like the hygiene, that was like the everyday stuff.
Definitely.
But then it allowed for other bigger things like Uncontainable, which you guys were.
Which was more me because that was advertising. You see, we were taking clients, coming up with business solutions.
The pivot was there.
I tried that. I was doing that.
Yeah.
There was a time, I don't know if you ever remember, but there was a time where I was even working with Slicker.
So
you
so
were creative director there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was creative director there. So trust me, I did that pivot. You know, in fact, I went back into the music coming from that pivot. Where I was like, I want to go back into this thing, you know. The options were there. I tried a lot of them, you know. But you gotta admit this one might have been one of the coolest because I can always go back into advertising.
Yeah.
You know? But very few artists, like what we mentioned earlier, can actually say, like, I'm back in the game again. I'm running again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm moving, especially after considering myself dead.
What were you in advertising? A director?
I was an art director, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you were a designer, I remember. No covers.
Dog, I used to do all the artwork. I used to do all the flyers at Cool Out. I did all the flyers at Cool Out.
I thought maybe because you were a copywriter.
People would think that, but I was with Helen. I was a better writer in the room.
Oh yeah.
Never wanted to argue with that. Also, actually, I always felt like I was a shitty copywriter because I was too much of a rapper. It's like you can't really find.
Funny enough, I do find rappers make bad copywriters.
Yes, they do.
There's very few, like Brasol makes a good copywriter.
Yeah,
like he's
because he's malleable.
But like some rappers,
that might have been one of the niggas that made me feel like, okay, sure, can't do this thing.
Because he's malleable. I think
you're fucking good at this.
Because you can see, like, with something like rappers, like once they write something, once they put it on paper, you can't get them out of it. Like you can't.
But also, you can't sell. Sometimes you can't be selling these fucking plays with metaphors all the time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You trying to come up with metaphors.
You must be malleable. Just to say, it goes back to what Ricky told you. Sometimes you just gotta say, hey, tell me a 5 rand. We crack a 450.
Yeah.
There was a time I thought you would go into acting because you were picking up like some nice roles.
I did do the acting thing too. I did do that. I think I had a whole year of acting. That's when I really, really was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I could tell like you were focusing your energy elsewhere.
I was fully into it. I was dating an actress at the time, and I was
role playing,
learning.
That's
it was like
So I was dating an actress. I was into it. I was fully in love with that craft. You know, I kind of enjoy. I really love acting. It's just that hours are long, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, hours are long. Yeah. Hours are long, dog.
I think I had this conversation with you. It was your Warner days, and you were about to put out this album, and I was just like, why aren't you merging all of these worlds together? you know, you were about to do the rollout for Amapiano, your Amapiano bag. And I'm like, yo, why aren't you merging your acting bag, your writing bag, your music bag all into one within these rollouts and within, you know, creating a creative piece of work? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, you're at the point in your career where you can experiment a lot, you know? And funny enough, it feels like you've reached your safest era.
Ooh.
For me.
How safe?
In terms of, you know, it's like the albums are like traditional albums from a genre perspective, from, you know what I mean, construction perspective, you know, it's always still dope, you know? But when you look at it like A3D, it was like so left from what was happening at the time. You know what I mean?
Well, in South Africa.
Yeah. And then HD as well was very conceptual. You know what I mean? You had Bonang doing skits, B.
It was beautiful.
You had Bonang doing skits. Then you come through and you had this conceptual album about women as well. You know what I mean? And then it was just always like so against, you know, and it was so far left thinking as well. And I think maybe that's also another thing, is that you always fought for people to understand it. It got to a point where you were fighting for people to understand it. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, okay, the Reezus, I think, was like, I agree that it was a turning point where you were justifying things, you justifying the artwork. And it's like, okay, cool. Now it's explaining everything instead of constructing it.
Just creating.
Yeah, creating it into this art piece that, you know. And then just putting it out in the world. And you got all of these amazing bags where you excel in all of them. Like nobody can say you're a bad actor
or bad rapper.
Nobody can objectively say with a straight face, Reason is a bad rapper. Nobody can say that. So it's like, so why aren't you merging all of these things? You know what I mean? And creating this a monstrous, you know, body of work that encompasses all of these touch points in a multimedia fashion,
and I think you've got
all those bags.
I think you've got enough like contacts and like even people that can like collaborators.
You know what's crazy? The one time, like, there was an album that I had pitched, that I had produced actually around lockdown. Actually, funny enough, I actually wanted to do that. Like, I wanted to, like, you know, make it, turn it into a movie, like a Black is King. Or like a Lemonade, you know. I wanted to do that,
like a visual album.
So there was so many people who misunderstood how that would work, you know, especially in the music industry. It's like those are the parts of the game where you realize the record label is still the label. Right? Like they still trying to figure out how to calculate this thing,
how to
like
sell
this and how to sell this and whatever. Then you would think, oh fuck, maybe you know, I want to pitch this to a TV show, you know, and then TV also is like, oh, like you have to come up with like a Black is King for us to want to just play a whole entire project. So there's been parts where I wanted to do it. Sometimes it just doesn't fully work, but I won't lie, that's really like the end goal. You know, I might be doing it in small pieces and in small doses, but I think the end goal is like to end up in a space where I can actually just create projects like that. Because, you know, I mean, I remember when I was releasing Audio 3D and Audio HD, what I was learning in advertising is really what was inspiring the campaigns. So, like, I knew that every campaign had a radio spot. So that would be my song. Then I knew every campaign had an online spot. So I had to come up with online campaigns. I knew everything had a print ad. So I'd come up with like shit for like the magazines. So I was kind of thinking like that. So I've always been driven to do that. And you might take away some of the ideas that I have, but yeah, that's definitely in the burner. But step by step.
I hope you execute that.
That might be the next fresh.
I hope that's the next vibe, man. Because
fuck, I wish I could turn this album into a movie.
You can. What's stopping you?
Yeah.
Hey, Spa. You have to do it, you know. I guess the doing it comes to doing it, you know. It just has to be done.
Man, you guys, I think you'll find that a lot of the people around you and the people that are in similar spaces as you from a career perspective are yearning to do and collaborate on things like that. You know what I mean? And I really think you can reach out to a lot of such people. And some people are really doing it. Like, if you look at like funny enough, Solo was saying some of the things that you were saying now. Like when he was talking about the entrepreneurial and whatnot, you know, when he had him here for God Anomaly, and he was talking about how hip-hop is so entrepreneurial and these people always talk about their hustles and whatnot. And I look at his rollout and how he's also done that, like just investing all of this in this visuals and this golden thread from the album perspective. And you can see, all right, cool, it's possible. And it's a person that's really not also paying attention to, okay, cool, this is gonna make them dance or whatnot. And Pretty also does a lot of the same things. You know what I mean? He's also very conceptual and whatnot. And I'm just like, yo, man, there is a tier of people that are not elderly statesmen as such, but like also people that aren't in the Usimamani, Tony Daimani,
in the hot race.
Yeah, and they're not in that school. They're not in the Blackie school. You know what I mean? But they're in the school of, yo, man, we're doing this thing of ours and we're gonna make it high quality. And you guys are all high quality caliber people.
Well, fuck, even to your point, like I guess it's the era where anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Like even Dali Wonga could turn his album into a movie.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're in a very visual era anyway. You know, this question might even pass for everybody that I know, or everybody who's still making music. Like, why haven't none of us done a visual album? But I get why it's so relevant to me, because I come from all those spaces. At some point, like, why haven't you put them together? And I just haven't been ready, I guess, you know. I've thought about it a couple of times, tried it once a few times, but I might have, well, it's possible, playing devil's advocate, that I might have had to be where I am right now.
Maybe.
For me to
get to where you
to
need
be
to
able to do it. I might have tried to do it before and it just wouldn't matter, you know, but like, you know, the world is different when you walk around with a number one, you know? Like, man, like...
The world is different when you walk around with a number one.
It is, and I mean that, like, with the utmost arrogance, and at the same time with the utmost humility, like, yo, like, can I do my thing now? Like,
now can I get started?
Yeah, now can I operate, you know? So it's possible, like, even with this record, I really don't think I could have dropped this record without that number one. Okay. I really, really think I needed that, because prior to that, it might have felt like, upampi legara, so you know, it's like, understand that? But like, it's like, once you conquer that one side, it's like, now I can choose to go into this space and I can do what I want to do.
By choice,
shuts down a lot of shit.
And I'm still nicer than you niggas.
Come on, dog.
We can't forget that.
Dog, you tell him, dog. You don't believe me, dog. You tell him.
Nah, man, but this is,
you know,
this thing
I've
nice,
never even done this Vanek thing before. You know, I've never even pushed that block
a little bit.
Yeah, like here and there, like.
I mean, even on that solo song, sure, which is a nice verse that you have there, you've got a nice verse on it.
Word.
Which is
those things were the ones that were triggering me.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I can. Maybe I can.
But even the way you were talking there was a very visual, like, verse. You know?
Yeah. But it sounds like you've eliminated a lot of that fear and that PTSD.
I have, bro.
You know?
I have.
Yeah.
How did you work around that?
You know, when you listen to this project, you're actually like, this project was a lot of therapy for me. You know, as an individual who hardly ever goes to therapy, I think talking about life as you go through it is quite important. You know, there's a song called Ngashlupega that I wrote when I felt like Nhlupegile.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and there was a song I wrote called Imitandazo. You know, I mean, Baba Nkumbule, where I really felt like, you know, like my prayers are being answered. You know, I prayed for someone, my nigga looked out for me, you know. So I think I was going through a lot of things when I was putting together this project. You know, with piano, there's very few things you can actually say to unpack how you really feel, you know. But with this project, like, I think it came out little by little, like the victories, the failures, the hopes, you know, the disappointments, you know, the remembrance, you know. People forget how much the game and living in the city will make you forget you know, where you come from and who you really are. And discovering those things again, you know, as a writer, as a musician, as a human being. You know, as a human being, like stepping out of your own reality. Because a lot of this project really speaks to what I see, what I feel, and how I interpret it, how I react to it. You know, I've always been in a position where I was trying to describe South Africa or my society to the world. I think that's what rapping in English was about. It was like, I'm talking to an American and I'm describing South African. I'm talking to a European and I'm describing South Africa. And for the first time, I'm talking to a South African describing South Africa. You know what I mean? And my mission was to do that as
and that makes open dialogue.
Yeah, I understand that there's a single coming out now.
Yes, sir.
But there's other joints on the album. Where I feel like, cool. This one is cool. It's nice.
What did you think was the single? What do you think was a strong single?
The one with the Maskandi guy. Ngatlupega. That could do things.
Yes, sir.
And then there was just before the switch into like the hardcore shit. There's another joint there.
Hardcore shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the album is half spiritual and half hardcore.
Yeah. So there's another joint there. So I feel like those really have...
Nkoso's on the sample.
Yeah, that Nkoso's on the sample.
Fuck, you're such a hip-hop head, yo.
Me, I think
you know?
Yeah, you know?
Yeah, so this is not Val bias.
Yeah, the SPK joint.
To preface, it's not Val bias.
SPK
but I think you might have a hood anthem with that, man. If you want to. You might have a hood anthem.
Yo, my nigga, that's really what I need. Like, that's what I wanted.
The hood anthem.
You got it. Yeah. You hit it on the head. Like, that's really what I was going for.
Yeah.
That's really what I was.
Yeah.
Even how we worked out the tempo.
That
like,
chant, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That repetitive. That's something that, you know, hood pride, you know? Yeah. I think that there's something there. But also what Kheti said.
Yeah,
I'm with that. But this is
you got some joints on there.
Man.
You got some joints on there.
This lead single, sure, it's there to do what it has to do.
Oh, so Where's Reason is not really like a lead single. I think that was just hey guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're doing this
There's
thing.
a job that it has to do. There's this guy and this guy, and then.
But
now
first single is definitely
Elogishini.
The first single is Elogishini, and then we'll drop Ngatlupega when the project drops.
Yeah.
You know, but also, you know, Elogishini is also on time.
Ncube should have a run as well.
Got you.
Yeah.
I think the streets is gonna choose it by themselves.
Yeah, the streets will.
Yeah, the streets are gonna tell you.
The streets
will tell you.
The streets are gonna tell you.
You just have to do enough to put it in the street, like actually, for the street to have time to pick that thing. You know, you'll see with the TikToks, with the stories that you get tagged in that. Oh, okay, this is what has legs. I could be wrong completely.
TikTok might take one of them joints and turn into a great joy that just runs, dog.
Yeah.
You know how they do.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, a lot of people kind of feel the same things. Ngatlupega, Elogishini, Baba Nkumbule, Utando. Some,
but just put it there.
I think the spiritual
for the people to choose.
Agreed.
Must not be an open secret.
But also we need the culture specialist to tell them.
You must guide them.
Guide them.
Show them, you know.
I mean, get that thing.
Get that thing.
Because also there's very few people that you can have this conversation with. If we're being honest, there's not a lot of these platforms where you can go and have these conversations. At least with him it's different because I've always had to play all my albums for Kitso at some point. At some point I had to sit with him and be like,
that's actually true.
What you think, dog? Like, am I fucking around or am I onto something?
Yeah, I remember that Bonang joint, we were driving around like Morningside and
Morningside,
dog.
Like, Livonia, we were listening to the album. And then Pactive joint fucked you up.
Yeah, it fucked me up hard. I was like, yo, you got at that time we were
still love Pactive, man.
Yeah.
Still tap into likes music as well, like still. Yeah, but
nah, man, we're excited about this one. This is nice.
But yes, sir. So yeah, Reason's first album was called Audio 3D. This one is called Audio 2D, and the 2D is for Dear Darky.
Oh,
okay.
I guess for the white people that can't say Darky, we just want to keep the Audio 2D.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. So Dear Darky is coming out sometime in September. You know, produced by Speaker.
Dear Darky.
Audio 2D ...
Dear Darky.
Darky.
It's too conceptual.
At some point, you can't lose the whole reason.
It should just be dear dad.
Joe, what's over there? You know?
I feel you.
Yeah, my
nigga, I understand, man. My nigga, I understand.
Blueprint 2, the gift and the curse.
Come on, man. Come on.
You know? So yeah, TikToky. Hey, look at shit coming out with SPK. I got SPK on there. I got Hope on the album. Shout out to Hope for mixing and mastering the album.
Hope Master.
Moment essay from the piano guy. Yes, he mastered my album. Shout out to Ferdy on the album. Shout out to Speaker on the album. Shout out to Infectist on the album. Shout out to Belinda Chester on the album. Shout out to who am I forgetting? Shout out to Kush on the album. Shout out to Strictly BK on the album. Shout out to Pitch Black. I sampled him. Shout out to 808X. Shout out to Scary Fellow and Sean Black. Shout out which is the other interesting, right? You realize there's not a big feature on this project. You know? I didn't do a lot of big features. It's really some really, really talented people that I found along the way when I was trying to put together this thing. Shout out to Ntombela.
Come on, you've got an eye for talent. There's just a thing there that's waiting for you to grab it. Just get that thing.
Get that thing.
Kailata boy.
What again? Didn't experiment your proof of concept. Yo, I'm not just telling y'all what to do. I did it.
This is how it's done.
But it's a good album.
It is.
Like I said, my thing may just be heard.
Yep.
Why not just worry about people hearing it? Let as many people as possible hear it. Like we say, it's a South African album.
Yeah.
You know, but South Africans hear it, man.
At a time where the world is looking at South Africa as well, sound-wise.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
but
beautiful.
Man,
it's on time.
Dog, you've had a very healthy career, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I mean, you really you can write a book on this. Again, I'm always in awe of people that have seen so many stages of the game. The jingle aspect of it, coming into it, the battle aspect of it, coming into that, the real cypher shit, getting out of that, every part of the game you touched, bro.
From Splash Jam to Conquer.
My nigga, you know how much I just thought, I was like, yo, that's culture, bro.
That's
you know what I mean?
bro.
So for somebody that's seen that and to be in a healthy position and to be physically and just healthy, that says a lot, bro. That says a lot. You know what I mean? So
shout out to the team.
You know what I mean?
Shout out to the team.
Y'all gotta be proud of yourselves, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Y'all gotta be proud of yourselves, bro. Yo, man. Shout out, man. It's really hard to be out here, man, being able to buy Nando's 20 years.
Nando's ain't cheap, boy.
Yeah, that Nando's ain't cheap. Yeah, I mean,
It's true though.
Casey Business got him a Casper joint to floss about that. Just got a quarter chicken from Nando's.
My nigga really doesn't want to let go of the piano ills. He keeps wanting to say, yo, what's going on with that Nando's stuff? My nigga was at anybody taking your Nando's, nigga?
And I wasn't even talking about that. I'm just saying. Yo, man, one of the health indicators in life is Nando's, bro.
Hey, man.
I feel you,
hey,
bro.
man.
You can buy that Nando's without hurting your pocket.
Hey, man.
On the 22nd
On
of
the
the month.
22nd, I just had Nando's for lunch, man.
You know what I mean? If you can afford Nando's Mambara week,
Yeah, you're good.
yo, you ain't doing too bad in life, man.
Even if it's just a quarter chicken with the wedges.
Nando's, because if a quarter chicken, it's an even bigger meal somewhere. Meaning, so you're like, you know what? I'm good with this.
They need to add Nando's in the news.
So you guys understand the value of these masters, right?
Yeah.
You understand the importance.
Oh,
you still thinking
but
Look, man,
I get it. Nando's ain't cheap.
Yeah, but
Nando's
yo,
ain't cheap,
I hope
man.
y'all know though. If you see Nando's in your studio sessions, that's an advance. It needs to be recouped.
Yeah, it is.
It's recoupable. Is that Nando's recoupable?
Yo, I ain't mad at that though.
I know that quarter chicken was probably beautiful.
I ain't mad at that.
Did you ask your manager if it was recoupable? This nigga nometry.
Yo, my nigga. Also, you gotta buy that Nando's every day, dog. Yo, niggas at your house every day, dog.
That platter, what's my Nando's platter?
Nando's platter. Nando should be in the currency bulletin, dog.
You know how they have that big
dollar
bag?
is 20 rand and Nando's
A quarter
in UK
chicken
will
is
cost you.
This is a long Nando's ad.
Come on the show. Nando's
Like a
sponsor
Big
the show.
Mac index, like how they use it to
Yeah, I would say a burger in Johannesburg will cost you.
That's what I'm saying.
In South Africa, it'll cost you 20% of a master
Nando's in South
I'm
Africa.
not
What-
mad
what
at
has
that
got that
shit, yo.
chicken-
I'm not mad at just that shit. Why did you come to the studio? Why is that the studio?
That's true.
You giving them the knowledge, dog. Yo, rule number 2.
Come to the studio.
Before it's
With a full stomach.
Come to the studio.
you go
well
to
fed, bro.
Boulders or a plate. And then you go to Pori.
Or just hit the
Mid-rand way.
Yeah.
Mid-rand way.
I'm a Boulders or a plate.
make a turn. Make a turn there.
Plus, I'm going to go to my sister by caravan in our plate.
Pori, I'm still somewhere.
That's my mind. Get them shoes level, dog.
Yo, appreciate you for coming through.
Yo,
bro.
man.
Thank you, fam. Thank you.
Shout out to Pori as well.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Shout out to, I actually have to shout out to Pori. You know, a lot
shout
of
out
people
to
think I give that nigga juice, and that nigga gives me a lot of juice.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you know,
I'm
stylistically,
gonna have
I
to
need to
pause
say
that,
shout
but that's
out.
all good.
Pause. No dilly, no
No juice is passed
We can get to a phase where we can completely like laugh about this whole thing with Pori, like, yo, this is my food and whatever. I think we can now, but
I think we are
feel like
there.
a reality to some niggas, you know. Some niggas still like,
I use Indian
but
list.
you know,
Me, I don't know me.
I can say
But that's what I'm just like, hey, but
I use Indian list.
Simple. Build a studio, we get to peanuts.
and which is what he said.
That's actually, he might have been very violent and very aggressive in telling you guys because
deliberately.
maybe he was pissed on that day. But like the truth is, dog, just buy your own shit, man.
Yeah,
Make
that's
your own songs. And if you're coming to his house, come work, like just be considerate of the fact that you might be working on his stuff. He
Yeah,
asked you
T's
to come
apply.
and work on his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you know, if I should be a good Grootman, like this thing of niggas complaining about, yo, this guy ripped me off, this guy knocked me, whatever, like, yo, we need to change that shit. Like, artists really need to take responsibility and learn about the business.
Come on.
Like, we really need
Yep,
to learn about it.
that's
Like,
true.
there's no nigga that's gonna tell you how it's gonna be done, you know, especially because the industry is filled with human beings,
least he's
and
up
human
front, yeah.
beings
Come on.
are very, very, there's thieves, there's kind people, but then there's also very cruel people. So instead of like, and also we've been dealing with this system, Otella Queens and Brenda
Bro,
Fassi and
bro.
whatever, like at
They've
some
been
point, like
going through it.
nigga, don't just learn how to use the Fruity Loops, learn how to fucking publish in game books, learn how the masters work. Like niggas really, really need to care about that thing.
That's the
You know what I
message,
mean?
man.
Like the amount of time you put into the craft, put it into the business, you know?
Do the knowledge.
what we've been preaching.
Preach.
We've been preaching this. But you said in the beginning of this episode,
School fees.
there is no Wits University
Eish.
for rappers, rapianoists, vocalists.
Marabuke one thing, music industry 101, thing, man.
And
You know,
Yeah, but nobody
Yeah.
sings about it enough.
yeah, I guess,
You know what I mean?
I guess this is the
Everybody's
shit,
just
yeah.
pointing, complaining, cussing each other out, and all of these people. When nobody's saying read,
Yeah.
And you know, also it doesn't.
not nobody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm not, let
not
me
a
not
lot of
say
people.
nobody. You know what I mean? But you know, it's a generalization, a gross one at that. But
Yeah.
we do need to champion that message a bit more.
We do.
Yeah.
You know what I
Also,
mean?
we think it has to be a campaign and has to happen at a big scale. Like, as you are uncovering talent now, are you spitting game?
Yeah, I have to. I have to
So
because
on all sorts of levels.
yeah, I have to because
You know.
my business, my business as a songwriter and you know with a production company, because I got a whole production company that I run where we produce albums for other people.
Talk to 'em.
And when we produce albums for people, like I have to pull in the producers, I have to pull in the songwriters. So when it comes to handling that business has to come with the education of how this works. You know, I have to explain to you how we're gonna split this thing so that you know what you're getting out of it versus what the artist is getting out of it. So with me, it's unavoidable. Like I can't really rock you. If anything, I'm trying to start a business with you because the happier you are, the more albums and the more projects we could work on together and produce for people.
Yeah.
The dream is to create like a whole entire agency that's got songwriters, writers, and
That's
producers.
got the whole ecosystem.
And then you can just come in as an
Churn it
artist.
out, yeah.
We're not trying to sign you. We're not trying to get a portion of it.
Here's a project.
We can help you get a deal because we want to get our cut from that deal, which is producing the project. But outside of that, like, we're not involved in that. So I even feel like it's necessary to do that from the experience of, you know, there's a lot of niggas who are in this music thing who are good songwriters who are not going to make it commercially.
Yeah.
They're not going to become the fucking superstars that they think they want to be. They're never going to really get there.
Yeah. And somebody got to tap him or something. Hey, man, come over here.
My nigga, you can write a good song.
Yeah,
like
come over here.
I mean, song, like The Dream. I mean, he also...
I mean, he had his.
Yeah, but he had his. But here I'm going. Like Sci-Hi.
Sci-Hi.
Like Sci-Hi, like who's that other nigga that wrote for
Rhymefest.
Kanye West?
Rhymefest.
You know, there's a lot of artists like that, and also just
King Lowe's,
but it's also introducing niggas to the reality that like it's not only one way where you make money in this game.
Thank you.
Love
It's
it.
just not one way to make money.
Yeah.
in this game.
Thank
There's
you.
many ways to make money in this game, and this is the other side. And I don't know why niggas don't actually like peep like, yo, niggas cry because it's a good part of the business.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many outcries. That's why there's so
It's
many
where you
issues.
shine the least, but where you can also make money. But niggas want the shine.
Yeah.
Because on stage you get the shine the most.
Yeah.
You know?
But when you're not on stage, dog, that Samro check
Your
coming
stomach
nice.
is not shining.
Yo, when that Samro check lands,
Yeah.
yo, sometimes we be catching you off guard, bro. Like, yo, come on. You made it clean.
Now you're gonna quell it now.
How are you?
What are you?
We're at the house.
On the highest. We need to be hearing more. That's what I'm saying, that we need to be hearing more of that, man.
Yeah.
If anything, you guys are the professors. You guys are the lecturers of this thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
please talk that talk, man.
I'll try, man. I'll always try and advise, you know. Like, I was raised by Zubs. You know, I was raised
Last
by...
letter.
I was raised by Battle Cat. I was raised by...
Dongo Gara.
by JJ Saseng. I was raised by...
JJ.
by niggas who were obsessed with putting together their own thing. You know, when I was at Outrageous, I was watching people put together this thing
Shout out to
individually. You know, they didn't have lawyers. They were learning the business inside, you know. So if those Grootmans can teach me how to handle it, I'm pretty sure I could do the same for another young man.
Word, that's beautiful, man.
Please do, man.
Beautiful.
Please do, man. That's amazing to hear, man. Yo, A2D,
When is it coming out?
Dear Dog.
sometime in September.
Yeah, let's just say sometime in September. I like sometime in this September.
Oh,
Do you remember?
Gasprin Day.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire. There's a skip for you.
Actually, I'm going to shoot a video from the 1st of September, actually. That's some darky thing to do, though.
TikTok.
That is a darky thing.
Yeah, use the government condoms as water balloons. That's how the hood do it, man.
The views expressed.
I don't know which hood.
The views expressed. Not those of Sizwe Alakine. The views expressed by TheSobering are not those of Sizwe Alakine and the Writer's Block Productions.
Bye, guys.
Durex, come on the show.
Not about those things.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But come on the show, Durex.
And that is the irony of asking for that sponsor with me around.
Yeah.
You know what the irony was?
No, it's fine. Let's cut it. Can we go home? Please, can we go home?
Sizwe.
No,
Do you know what's funny?
No.
Do you know what's funny? Your name is Sizwe. Like, it explains why you're part of a nation. Kids are a nation.
It's funny enough, yes, I believe that too.
Yeah.
At some point
Kids are
that
a
pin
nation.
dropped, yeah.
Yeah. So that's also your calling. Got that, man.
Can we go now?
Yeah, I know, right?
I see where this is going. I see where this is going. Like, I see where this is going.
Exactly what you didn't want.
I'm sorry.
These niggas are so good at this.
No, these niggas are
Yo, I spoke too soon. I told these niggas they were.
these niggas are just gonna talk about
This ain't culture.
They a culture specialist. I thought I came to
The level of trolling on this platform might actually get you cancelled. It's like, oh, fuck. I gotta come up with something better. No, I tap out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, Didi, I'm sorry.
Nah. Yo, thank you.
Cool,
Thank you
so much,
man.
B.
Can't wait for the album. It's gonna be a vibe. Can't wait for all of the other moves that you're about to make, man.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't wait y'all to hear it too.
Word.
Yeah.
blessings on blessings on blessings. Bless.
Well, thank you so much, man. Shout out to my moms.
Wait.
Chicken jing bao.
Yeah.
Ching ching pow.
Ching ching chung bao.